Hello, beautiful soul. I am so happy and excited and grateful that you are here with me today, whatever time that is for you. I'm so ecstatic to be starting this YouTube channel. YouTube is something that I never thought that I would do, but formally, let me say, welcome to One Love. I'll be explaining what One Love is, where that is even coming from, or why I'm doing this. My name is Kirby. I had my spiritual awakening in 2019, and I have been working with hundreds of thousands of people all over the world for the past few years. I predominantly was on TikTok. If you came over here, you're seeing me now from kind of what I was previously doing. I had a lot of followers on TikTok, over 300,000. 4 months ago, I deleted all of my social media, like hundreds of thousands of followers, all of it. I was intuitively guided by the divine for this new chapter of what I am meant to be doing in my life and how I am meant to be serving. And to be honest, TikTok started feeling really icky for me. I got on TikTok in 2020 and built an amazing community of people there, but as it's kind of gone, I'm sure all of you have seen and noticed things with Instagram, TikTok, all of it. Instagram to me feels awful. Like my body was physically rejecting Instagram, so deuces Instagram. TikTok started feeling the same kind of way. I started really not enjoying going on there. I felt like a circus monkey dancing for the world, and just the way the whole thing was. I wasn't physically dancing in my videos, but it just felt like I was a part of this circus, and it just didn't feel good in my body. And same thing, I was rejecting my business. My body was telling me intuitively. I had a deeply life-altering, profound plant medicine journey at the end of February, where Source came through hot, saying, close your business. This is what you're supposed to be doing instead. Not this exactly, not YouTube, but basically Source guided me towards what I am supposed to be doing moving forward. And this is how amazing the divine is, and being in such alignment with God, with the divine, with the creator, whatever word feels best for you. It's become very clear to me over my most recent plant medicine journeys that it is God. So that is the term that feels best for me. But throughout this channel, throughout everything that I'm going to be doing moving forward, you will hear me say God, Source, divine, creator. I most likely won't be saying the universe, because God created the universe. So when you're saying, referencing the universe, you're actually worshiping a false God, because God created the universe. The universe isn't a creator, if that makes sense. However, if the universe feels good for you, then I trust you and your path and wherever you're at on it. So welcome to One Love. The way and the reason why this has all come about is because God made it very clear to me on this plant medicine journey that not only are we a part of one consciousness, which I'm sure at this point in time, we are one consciousness of people. We are all a piece of one mind, one consciousness at various levels. And the divine, God, Source, creator, is the frequency of love. That is how we embody the divine. It is through the frequency of love. That is the frequency, our highest frequency to be operating by, which is unconditional love. And just as we are one mind, we are one love frequency, separated into different embodiments, right? So I'm an embodiment, I'm a soul, you're a soul, other people are souls, but we are all slices of pizza of love, if you look at it that way, right? Like a piece of olive pizza, when you take away a slice of olive pizza, it's still a piece of olive pizza, even though it's no longer a part of the pizza. That's the best way that I can describe this. We are slices of love. We are all part of one love. We are one mind. We are one consciousness. We are one world, one peace, one love, and I am here to spread that love and help guide you on your spiritual journey back to yourself, because the destination is not there. As I had thought so many times throughout my own journey, the destination is here. And the deeper we connect back home, the easier it is to live in the frequency of love and to live our highest vibrational life serving this world, because that is our job. It is to embody this frequency and to serve the world from that place. When other people choose to be angry, we choose to respond from a place of love, not because they deserve love, but because we choose to be love. You want to be angry? Okay, I choose to just respond back in love. You choose to be frustrated? Okay, I'm going to respond from a place of love. A person who is so wounded and hurt people hurt people. Our world is operating in a consciousness of fear and pain and separation. And continuing to operate in that way is not going to get us anywhere, because that's not how we are meant to operate. Our soul's frequency is love. And the faster we come back to love and recognize that it is only love. It's not about manifestation. It's not about you manifesting $1 million or a car or a mansion or whatever. None of that matters. It's about who you are being while you are doing that. Yes, I would love for you to have everything that you would ever want in your entire life, but not if it's coming from a wounded ego operating from fear, pain, suffering, frustration, anger, rage. That's not going to benefit our world. And that's the problem right now with what's going on with the spiritual community that I see in this world, is that everyone is so wrapped up in manifestation and trying to attract things in from this massive egoic place. They're trying to get a car or money or soulmate to feed a wounded ego, instead of learning to embody and shift their way of being into a higher frequency, into an embodiment of love, to then just be a match for all the greatness that's in the world. If the focus comes back to serving the divine, being one with the divine, and moving from a place of love, and serving the world from a place of love, and giving from a place of love, and choosing to bless others and send love to others and be in this high frequency, everything that you would ever want will be yours. Thinking that a car is going to make you happy or more loved or more worthy, a soulmate, money, a job, that those things out there are then going to fill something in here, you are going to be looking and searching and fighting and trying to fill an empty void within yourself for your entire life. I know I didn't really give a whole breakdown of myself, but when I had my spiritual awakening in 2019, I was bedridden with chronic illness. I had Lyme disease and mold poisoning. I was deeply depressed, radiating anxiety. I had been dealing with chronic anxiety and depression for over 12 years at that point in time. I felt this emptiness within me that nothing would fill, that I kept thinking that if I had a partner, I had been single for 7.5 years, and when I had a partner, then that emptiness would go away. Oh, when I had more money, that the emptiness would go away. Oh, when I go on this vacation, the emptiness will go away. Everything else, this, it'll give away. This, it'll make it go away. This will make it, nothing will make it go away. That emptiness is within, because I was operating so far from my true authentic self. I had been living from a masked version of myself my entire life. And even for the first few years of my spiritual journey, I was still operating from a masked place, unknowingly, not fully allowing myself to embody and live authentically and love authentically who Kirby was deep down, truly at her core. I didn't know who she was because I still kept thinking that something out there was gonna fill something within me. Instead, when you choose within your regular everyday life to start living from a place of purity, I just had an angel or a divine something from God. I don't know, I saw a shift in the matrix that just happened in my right eye right here, like over on this side, as I was saying that. And so I know that source is just giving me divine confirmation. And that's the kind of thing that I experience in my life because I am so deeply connected with the divine at this point in time. Oh my gosh, I might cry. I'm so deeply connected with the divine at this point in time in my life that I could scream it from the rooftops. I've never been so connected with something so powerful. And that is why I, within an instant, shut down an extremely successful six-figure business, multiple six-figure business, hundreds of thousands of followers, and Source said, this is the route we need you to go in, and this is where it needs to happen, and we need you to trust us. And I am in full surrender because in November 2018 was the last time I experienced my deepest time of depression, and I went in a 2-week hole. It's the best way I can describe it. And I didn't want to live anymore. And I was crying, and I think I was on the floor of my bedroom, and I didn't have a deep relationship with God, source, creator, anything at that point in time in my life. And this was before I had found out that I had Lyme disease and mold poisoning and all these things, all these health issues. I said out to God at the time, I said, I cannot do this anymore. Please, I don't want to be on earth anymore. Like, I cannot live this way any longer. This is unbearable. Being in this body with all the physical pain that I had from my chronic illness that I had had for a long time and I didn't know about, but also the crippling anxiety and depression that I had been operating from. And I screamed out to Source. I said, if you want me to stay here on this planet, please help me. And if you get me out of this, I will do anything that you tell me to do. I will do whatever you tell me to do. And this moment in my life in 2018 shifted everything, because then what ended up happening, like within a week after that, it like very divine synchronistically. And again, this is pre-spiritual awakening for me. So I didn't even know what a synchronicity was at that point in time. So all of a sudden came through, I got in contact, like it happened out of nowhere. I think it came from Instagram, like a holistic doctor, and she started explaining the symptoms of mold poisoning and Lyme disease and all these things. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is all the stuff that I had. And it happened very divine like that. And then it was fully in October 2019 where I had this massive spiritual awakening after a 33-day fast. If you want to know about that story, let me know below and I will totally give a full breakdown of what happened after this very powerful fast. I literally became a different person. Like after a 33-day powerful fast, I became a completely different version of myself. And then everything after my life had just completely transformed after that, honestly. When I called out to God in 2018, I didn't know God. But the point of all of this is it is all so much bigger than you would even think that it is. And it is extremely important at this point in time where we are at in our lives to not only expand our consciousness, to start embodying this powerful love frequency and living from this place of purity, but also clearing and releasing and transmuting the level of pain and trauma that our collective has been operating from. We have all been operating from an extremely painful level of trauma. And I believe that on a soul level, we're all kind of suffering from some level of PTSD from it. However, it is not going to miraculously just go away because we choose to think positive or to meditate or to start being in a frequency of love. We have to move it out of our system and allow ourselves to start operating from a more pure place. And if we're looking at a neutral line right here, you can only go so high as you are willing to go low. Happiness and sadness are connected on a string to each other. So you can only raise in happiness if you're willing to clear what you're carrying in sadness to allow the sadness to more neutralize. So the more that we allow ourselves to go in and face the parts of ourselves that we haven't felt safe to face before, the more we will be able to raise our consciousness and live at the higher level. This is why the healing journey and the spiritual journey go hand in hand. It's not just that you can only do the enlightened stuff. There is a dark side to the light chasing. We can be light workers, but we have shadows and they have to be moved out. We have to allow ourselves to see it, to feel it, and to release it. Recently, I was in a Temazcal, which is a Mexican sweat lodge. I live in Mexico. I've lived here for almost 4 years. And it was so uncomfortable. The Temazcal has been one of the most powerful healing tools that I've used on my journey. It is one of the most powerful things to help move things out of the subconscious because it's mentally, emotionally, and physically happening within the body at the same time. And in this Temazcal, it was just deeply, deeply uncomfortable. There was things that was moving up and out of my system and I wanted it to be over so bad. And I got a massive download while I was in this Temazcal and it said, Kirby, the only way out is through. And that's the only thing that I can say to you at this point in time regarding your shadow. And if you think that you don't need to do shadow work while you're on your spiritual journey, I can assure you that you do. Every single person does. The only way out is through. What you don't own will own you. What you don't want to face owns you. And the deeper that you fight it and resist it and don't want to go near it, the bigger and grander it gets and the more it will come for you. And then eventually a rug will be pulled out underneath you and it will force you to look at it. And that's exactly what happened with me prior to my spiritual awakening with Lyme disease, mold poisoning, all that stuff. I refused to look at so many things in my life. I avoided so many red flags in my life, fighting and trying to be this version of myself that I thought would be loved and accepted in this world. And as a result, I was living extremely inauthentically. This is, my whole life. I lived in New York City for 10 years. I was a fashion designer at Ralph Lauren. I lived this life of what I thought would mean that I was good enough, that I was accepted. And guess what? While I was living it, I didn't feel good enough. I still didn't feel good enough and I had all the things. It's because none of that matters unless you know who you are authentically deep at your core. And the faster you come back to that version of yourself and you start operating from that space and you start opening up, expanding your consciousness to live in the deep and releasing out and clearing from the shadow, you create this massive whirlwind around you and magic starts happening. But it really does start with coming back to authentically who you are as a person. So there's so many things that we're going to get into in this channel. What kind of questions do you have? Where are you at on your spiritual journey? What do you need to know? What do you need help with? What can I support you in? Please let me know. And if you are somebody who's on the spiritual journey and you're looking for deeper connection with people who are doing the work, who are living the life, who are raising their consciousness and transmuting their shadows, and you want to be connected with a really beautiful community, I also was guided by the divine to create a really divine community because this is something that I also believe is deeply, deeply missing from our world is community. We need to be surrounded by other like-minded souls. It's missing, not only in the online space, but in person. And I'm hoping to be doing more stuff in person as I move forward with all of this. So if that is you, you're looking to be around other like-minded people, you want to be connected, then I have the One Love family, which is our online community space, our Sangha. Sangha means spiritual community in Sanskrit. And so that's also where we'll be connecting a few times a month outside of YouTube, and we can get together and connect, and we'll be doing chanting, we'll have Q&As, I'll be doing healings. It's gonna be absolutely beautiful, and we'll have an online community chat where we can all hang out. I also will be sharing my own downloads and things like that in there, which will be absolutely fabulous, so that I can always be supporting you while you're moving through on your journey. And I will have lots of other workshops and things that will be going on as well, which you can also check out. There'll be links and stuff below if that's something that you're interested in. Anyways, this went on to all kinds of things that I didn't expect it to go on to. Welcome to One Love. I'm Kirby. I'm so excited you're here, and I cannot wait to continue supporting you on your journey as you come back home to yourself and live the most unbelievable, divine life that you're meant to live. I'm excited to support you, and I will see you in the next videos to come.